Who's the best magician you've ever worked with?
That's a tough one. I wouldn't like to answer that in specific terms. I've worked with lots of good magicians.
What would be
Not a competition.
Okay. What would be the characteristics of a magician which turn you on the most?
I mean, I can talk about particular rituals that I've seen, that I've participated in, that for me were like, the bollocks.
Yeah.
A few years ago I was with one particular group who I won't mention. This guy was doing the thelemic possession ritual of the ape of Thoth.
Right.
And this guy's he's kind of like a Thelemite, I suppose. He's into Kralis Thelema. It was such a beautiful ritual. I cried all the way through it. It was just amazing. It was like, I suppose I can't really describe it, but it just moved me so much. And I think that's one of my criteria for a good magician, somebody who can they're not merely putting on a performance. So I think there's a strong element of performance in any group ritual, but when you're actually moved by that ritual, you might not necessarily have a part in it, you might be standing there watching, but if it moves you emotionally, then that is a good ritual. And somebody who can do that time and time again is probably a good magician, isn't it? I think I like people who've got a sense of humour, who are like not caught up in the whole glamour of being magicians, because I was certainly caught up in that for years and years and years, and I don't think it did me any good, and I was sort of glad when I pulled back out of it. I like people who've got wacky ideas. I was talking to one of my mates on the phone who was telling me that they went to this pagan sort of do, and they were asked to open the circle, and they had this fake machine gun full of blanks, and they sort of machine gunned the circle at night.
Bet that went down
well. Well,
Wiccans.
Probably not, but I just thought, yes, I'm glad people. This is the same group who's going around Liverpool spray painting Barbolith on the walls in emulation of Grant Morrison's fictional Liverpool that has Barbolith on the walls. I just think people doing that, they're kicking, cool, to use your phrase.
Excellent.
I mean, I've since I've been online on the web, I've sort of talked to a lot of magicians around the world, and I don't know. I'll keep coming back to this example, but this guy, I get letters from people saying, "Will you do this and will you do that? And will you send me this? And will you send me that?" And like most of them don't excite me. And one guy just sent me this really totally bizarre letter. And he said, "Oh, can you send me this tape?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll send you the tape, but can you send me an I Like Ike badge? And can you send me the theme tune of the Gary Shandling show?" And he sent it, and I yes, And
where did he find an I Like Ike badge from?
It was an original from the 50s campaign. There's one up there, there's a French one. I don't know where the English one is, but J-A-I. Fucking A or what? And I'll probably only write to this guy about once a year or something, so I'm really crap at correspondence.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's an emotional connection there because he's got a wacky sense of humour. I was actually in his last letter. He started sending me a lot of like magical stuff that he'd written, and I just thought, don't know.
It takes the edge off it a bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
With my closest magical friends who are like musicians and friends as well, I find that we actually talk about magic very little.
Yeah, I know.
Which is good.
It's kind of we don't really need to, do you?
Well, I was interviewing some other friends for Prime Chaos because there's a big section on group dynamics because it's one of my obsessions. And one of the people in the interviews is talking about the social side of groups. So I think that's often something that's very difficult to get across. And he said, well, if the social side is okay, then you can do magic anytime. It's not important. But if the social side isn't fixed, then the magic won't hold together. Confidence is a skill.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
if somebody's overconfident, they're projecting into the future.
Yeah.
If somebody's not confident, they're locked into the past.
Yeah.
And if you're there at the moment, then you're not worried about what is going to happen or what other people are going to think, and you're not worried about all the fuck-ups in the past. You can just do it, And I really got into this idea of relaxing into confidence and say that, probably the most fundamental magical technique is to relax. But
Well,
this
no, I
goes
mean-
back to what you were saying about basics, John, because this is fundamentally basic.
Absolutely.
And I've actually have this assertion that there's no such thing as an advanced magical technique. There's just basic techniques that you get better at
Right.
until they're unconscious. You
Yeah.
know, because I remember when I first started off path, I had this idea that the more experienced I got, the more these really fuck off big bollock rituals I'd be able to do. Suddenly I discovered that they weren't as fuck off big bollock as I thought they were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say, some snotty bastards keep saying to me, "Oh, when are you going to write a book on advanced magic?" I said, "Well, I don't think there's any such thing."
Just
You can
like-
specialise, and I could
Yeah.
probably write a very specialised book on something. Nothing springs to mind at the moment. Or I could write a book in a particular genre, like Cthulhu mythos magic. I'd like to.
And one particular deity, and
Yeah, that's one particular
way
deity.
of
You can
looking at it.
specialise, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's no such thing as basic and
No.
advanced in this game. I don't think. I mean, so basic techniques are fundamental. So, and relaxation is one of the fundamental ones. You know?
Mm. And I mean,
If you
like,
can't,
again,
can't relax, you're not going to be able to do any of this fucking stuff. You know?
yeah, or anything at all, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that comes. I mean,
And some people can't relax.
exactly.
I actually taught people.
I think that's why I got into it.
I taught people relaxation therapy for 2 years, and it just surprised me how many people are incapable of being relaxed. So when you say, you have to tell people what it's like to be relaxed, which I found really weird. 'Cause
Yeah.
people just don't know what the sensation is.
Yeah.
Again, that's paying attention to yourself.
What is the advantage of a magical outlook compared to a bog standard sort of Aristotelian scientific dogmatic view?
What's that quote from Dave Way? Aristotelian dualism, bang shite.
No, it's just that that viewpoint has the advantage that at least you have a common sort of terminology you can discuss things with, and it's very clear what is real.
Mm.
But
Well,
why involve yourself in all this weird shit?
because it turns me on. I think the fundamental issue is about what is science for, and I think as we sort of like drive towards the millennium, science is fast becoming viewed in certain quarters certainly as a way of disproving things. I always thought science was about asking really weird questions.
Yeah. That's
Not saying that didn't happen. And I think, I think probably for me it's like a paradox about magical thinking, is that you have to be sceptical and you have to be ready to stand back and analyse stuff, but you have to kind of like believe in it at the same time. But you have to, it's kind of like, it's really easy to fool yourself with magic.
Yeah.
It's really, if you sort of like decide that you're like the dog's bollocks, magically speaking, you're a magus, you can, and people do, and some people manage to even fool other people into thinking they're a magus, but it's really easy to delude yourself. So I think it is necessary to have some quality of scepticism, otherwise you go off your rocker basically, and I've met quite a few people who have, which I've studiously tried to avoid doing the same, at least for an extended period. I think some quality of scepticism is important, but on the other hand, if it becomes an absolute thing for you, that certain things do happen.